Hi guys, welcome back to another video. We just got back from Washington State. Yeah! Woohoo! Woohoo! All right, so last week we took a 5-day trip to Washington State for a friend's wedding. The wedding we went to had a theme that was formal eccentric. So Matt and I decided to go steampunk. I'm still trying to figure that out. I mainly have the gist of it. Basically, everything run by steam or steam powered back in the 1800s. And they were thinking futuristic, so they were punks. That's what this is about. And it was such an adventure. I really don't like traveling with all the kids, and every time we're packing for a trip, I always regret it and I wish that we weren't getting out of our routines. But every time we come back from a trip, I always want to plan the next trip because it was so much fun. And so I'm gonna tell you guys all about what we did and where we went and whether maybe we recommend it for anybody out there watching to go there. So basically the first leg of our trip was 12 hours long from the time we left our house to the time we arrived at our destination hotel, the first destination hotel. And basically we flew out of Dallas Love Field. That was about a 40-minute drive from here, Flower Mound, Texas. And then we took a flight. It was about 4 hours. And then we got a rental car, drove 3.5 hours to Pacific Beach, Washington, which is off the Pacific Northwest side of Washington. And there's no reception there. It's like out there, and it was good and bad. We needed like actual directions and stuff like that, and so it was really hard to Google stuff, but it was nice to unplug and just really focus in on the beautiful sights. And so Pacific Beach was really pretty. We stayed at a place called Sandpiper Inn, and that place is so pretty. That beach is supposed to be like lawless or whatever. There's not many rules on that beach, so if you wanted to have a bonfire or have your dogs out or things like that, then it's a little bit more convenient. And Sandpiper Inn had many rooms and a lot of bed situations. It was a little run down, but it got the job done, and it was really pretty. We only stayed there for one night, and then we transferred to the location of the actual wedding, which was on Quinault Lake. Where's Jackson going? Okay, we're in Quinault Lodge in Washington. Where's Jackson going? Jackson gonna go play lawn games? Yay, let's go, Jackson. Maddie and Daddy are on their way. But anywho, it was really pretty. The lake had like this haze over it. It was just beautiful. And it was just really pretty. and also pretty chilly. It was about 50 to 60 degrees, so I only brought one sweater situation, so yeah. So we stayed at Quinault Lodge, and it was a really quaint little hotel lodge. Other than the wedding, exploring the town was my favorite part of our trip. It just reminded me of our trip to Maui, where we were driving around and seeing different things. And so we just got in a car and started driving, and they gave us a little map for where the hiking was and the waterfalls, and it was really pretty. We saw 2 waterfalls, the largest spruce tree ever, I guess, and I've never really seen a spruce tree before, so had nothing to compare it to, but yeah, it was a nice little hike. Okay, this is Bunch Falls in Olympic National Park. The day of the wedding was Saturday, and it was so beautiful. It was a half-mile to a mile hike into the woods, and I didn't bring like very comfortable shoes, and so I was wearing like heels to hike in there, and it was a little bit slippery. I didn't have any incidents, thankfully, but it was really quite an adventure and a workout for my legs. We did have one incident where our tire kind of became flat from when we were coming back to pick up the pizza that we got. And so thankfully our rental car had like a full-size tire, and we were able to get on the road. There was no tire place within 50 miles. And you know that those small tires that are usually in the car only go about 50 miles. So that was like probably the most stressful part of the trip, was not knowing whether we could get back to our flight, because yeah, that would have been not good. But yeah, thankfully we have roadside assistance with USAA. They came and changed the tire, and it was totally fine. The other thing was the food was really expensive. The food in the restaurant in the lodge was a tad bit expensive, and it was one of the only options, and it's just really convenient. It's right there. And so that was the other thing I didn't anticipate. I know when you're out of town, you have to budget for eating out, but that was really expensive. And there's not a lot of other options since it's a small town. So that was, I guess, the biggest expense was food situation. We're a hungry family. In conclusion, we recommend this Quinault National Forest, the Quinault area, and also the Pacific Beach trip. I think in hindsight, I would prefer to stay in Seattle City for maybe a day or two to see, like, you know, the Pike Place and all that, and then hang out there and then go into the forest. But given that we were there for an event, we didn't do that. But that's what I would recommend, is stay in Seattle and then travel about 3.5 hours to the Pacific Northwest side and see all those beautiful sights. They said in the summer there's a lot of lake activities and all that, you know, canoeing and whatnot, boating, fishing, and all that. So anywho, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and as always, thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!